Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. I am joined by my guy, Big K, who is ready to be on my ass today. But if you guys don't know, Behind Enemy Lines is a series where I talk to fans of the opposing team. And this week, the Saints are facing the Dallas Cowboys. So I have known Cowboys fan Big K, Caleb Allen. Caleb, how are you doing today?
One of the biggest Cowboys haters. However, someone needs humbled. A fan base needs humbled. And they're playing the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
All right, hold on. Let me stop you right there. The fan base doesn't need to be humbled. This is half of this fan base is not
The other
fooled
half
yet.
does. The other half does, like you.
I don't need humbled. I'm just very
Yes, you do.
excited.
You have said something that is telling me you need humbled.
What is it that I said?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Get there. But
Okay.
as far as a week where I am excited and to be on an episode for a team that's not my favorite team, whoo, I'm about to make a name for myself.
I can already tell that you're dying on the inside though.
I'm dying on the inside, but man, you'll have 7 TikTok clips out of this video from you getting absolutely cooked.
All right. So I guess if you want to go ahead, let's go ahead and talk about how the Cowboys did last week. What's
Cowboys last week?
Yeah.
I will clarify this. The Cowboys last week played a team that offense looked just about as bad as Saints did at times last year. The Browns offense, I can sit here for 20 minutes and roast the Browns. I haven't even looked at the stats of that game. That's how little I care for that game.
I will say the Browns offense is going to be very bad this year. And it's not going to be it. It's not going to be because of their roster. It's going to be because of their quarterback. And
who in fact has a burner account.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, the Cowboys. What's that?
I'm pulling up the stats.
Yeah, but
let's talk about defense. On defense, the Cowboys had 6 sacks. The Cowboys had 6 sacks against a good O-line. That is a solid O-line. Granted, if you ask number 4, the O-line's horrible.
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, that's what he was calling himself as number 4.
Bro has no room to talk about anything being terrible. And
he was saying it's the O-line's fault for them sucking. They forced a fumble. D-Law forced a fumble, had 2 sacks, dog. Had 2 picks. Eric Kendricks, who was a dog, who also had 2 sacks. And Trayvon Diggs, one of the best corners in the league, who's going to lock down every Saints receiver. Okay. They were all over the field with tackles. Receiving wise, they didn't need to do much on offense. They only needed to score 33 points. Could have won with 21. Dak only even had 180 passing yards. Which, if you know Dak, that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Dak can very easily throw for a hundo. He can throw that pill.
I hear you.
CD only needed 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The run game had a total of 102 yards and 1 tutty. Okay. This is a Cowboys team that week 1 looked solid, but we're against a questionable team, and don't get that test for a while.
Okay.
Now let's talk about the Saints. And I will not attack the Saints while you talk about them.
I will let you have all the time you need after I'm done talking, but I think I'm going to be just straight up on how I felt. I thought that it was a perfect game, and I'm also one of the people that are cautiously excited about it because while it was a perfect game, it was also the Panthers. But, you said I need humbling, and you know what? That might be true. But I've had to hear for the longest time that the Panthers are better. They're just big up. They had this big upgrade. They have Dave Canales, the QB Whisperer Jr. They have a whole new revamped offensive line. Their defense is getting better. They still got Ejiro Evero. The Panthers look like a team that are going to beat the Saints out of the division, and they're not going to be last this year. The Saints will. I had to hear that all offseason. Shout out to Shiloh in the background. I'd hear that all offseason, and all that just went away. It's like no one ever said that. So yes, I am very happy. I'm very happy to watch Derek Carr rejuvenate offense, offense that had more emotion than the ocean. You know, it had more motion than the ocean. That offense was completely rejuvenated and so fun to watch versus last year when it was like we already knew what was going to happen. I see. I had the feeling going into this game that something like that was going to happen, and it didn't. You know, I was there in person, right? I basically had an all 22 view IRL. That team was like near perfect. Like I didn't expect Trevor Penning to do as good as he did. I did not expect Talise Fuaga to do as good as he did week one against Derek Brown and Ashawn Robinson and Jadeveon Clowney. Like Talise Fuaga was one of the best offensive linemen from week one, period. But he was the best rookie offensive lineman. And that shows a lot because who?
Joe Alt, who allowed
Okay.
0 pressures against Max Crosby, arguably the best pass rusher in the football.
Yeah, but Talise Fuaga also allowed 0 pressures.
Okay, who? No, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Derek Brown, bro. Derek Brown. Jadeveon Clowney.
I will wait. I will wait on
Why?
this. Just nope. Keep going. Keep praising him, please.
Okay, well, again, on all metrics, on all stat, you can look it up. You can look at the pass block win rates. You can look at all of it. Talise Fuaga was the best rookie offensive lineman from this week,
According to who?
according to all the analytics writers you can look for.
Okay, go. Keep going.
Look it up, man. It's there.
Keep
But
going.
Talise Fuaga did an amazing job blocking a damn good rusher in Derek Brown, and 2 very solid rushers in Ashawn Robinson and Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney just had 10 sacks a year ago, but everyone wants to forget about that. Just because he's on the Panthers, everyone
No,
wants to
I'm
forget
not
about
saying
that.
anything. I'm not saying anything.
No, but you can check my Twitter, all my replies, and because I was going crazy that day. For this whole week, I was going crazy every time I mention it. Oh, but it's just the Panthers, man. It's just the Panthers. But you gotta think. You gotta really sit and think about it. These guys aren't getting paid $100 million for no reason. You still got Derek Brown, who's one of the best rushers in the league. And he got shut down by little old Trevor Penning and rookie
Okay.
Talise Fuaga.
Okay. We'll get there.
But moving on from them, they had their perfect game. Not Trevor. Trevor had a good game, not perfect, but Fuaga had a perfect game. The offense was damn near perfect, scored every drive that the starters were in on. Defense was really good. I'm not gonna credit too much, to the secondary because I was never really worried about them, and I felt like nothing was gonna, you know, I felt like nothing was gonna change there. But for the pass rush, I am gonna credit them because everyone says the Panthers have an improved offensive line. Bryce Young's got protection now. Watch out. And the Saints still had 4 sacks, and they still let Alontae Taylor get through 3 times. Demario Davis once. Like, so when are we gonna stop saying it's the Panthers and finally admit that the Saints offense might have something? Now I understand it is the Panthers and more has to, you have to show more. Well, 47 points doesn't happen on accident. All right. Anyway.
You want to wait? You want me to cook now, or do you want to wait?
Just go ahead, bro.
Because I don't know if I want to make you cry this early.
You said you're gonna make me cry. Go ahead, bro. I'm waiting for it.
I'll wait.
Okay, you'll wait. I don't know if it's ever gonna come.
Wait. Let's get scenarios going.
All
Plus,
right,
I need to watch something before I before I absolutely obliterate you.
You need a waffle? Is that what you said?
No, I'm watching something right now.
Okay. Well, You know what? While we're on the topic of, uh, topic of all this good shit that happened for the Cowboys and Saints last week, let's just talk about the breakout candidates. Who didn't show out last week that you think has a chance to show out this week?
Do you want an actual breakout candidate or just someone who's going to cook you guys? So you know what? Actually, no. I'll give
Both. Both. Just go both.
no. So the obvious one, CeeDee Lamb. He only had 60 yards.
Okay.
The underestimate one, Luke
That's
Schoonmaker.
okay.
He's
The
gonna end up being the
now
tight end
starting
again.
tight end. Yeah.
He'll end up starting
Yeah.
today because out of just pure necessity.
Yeah.
Ferguson's not gonna play,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a situation where they will need a guy to step up.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, Schoonmaker, they heavily rely on that tight end play.
Yep.
Jake Ferguson last year was one of the best tight ends in football. And as far as someone to
What's going
break
on with my
out,
camera?
it's him. It's going to be him.
Okay. But
There you go.
yeah, I agree with that. Screwmaker is a good breakout candidate because he's starting. I'm sure he will start. Jake Ferguson's. It's a surprise that he's held up, the thing for a while because I figured that he wasn't going to play this week. From
It's
everything I've
doubtful.
seen, he should probably be out a few weeks. And the fact that he's
He better not. I have
made
him
it through the
fantasy.
week.
I have him and Njoku in the league.
I think I have Ferguson in one league too.
I have
But the
both
fact that
good starting tight ends who are injured. I have.
Huh. Yeah, the fact that he's, made it through the entire week without being ruled out like so fast is insane. Even though I've seen pretty much everywhere that he's gonna be out for like 3 weeks with like was it something in MCL or knee or something like that? I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's a good one. I'd say my breakout candidate is fuck, I have no idea. I gotta think about all these matchups. I don't know who the second corner of Dallas is now.
Do you know
Because
who it is?
it's not Deron Bland because he's on IR.
It is currently corner 2. It's either Kalen Carson or Demavian Overshown.
Demarion Overshown, the linebacker.
No, he's a slot corner.
Demarvion Overshown. You mean the strong side linebacker, Demarvion Overshown?
Mm-hmm. So sorry, they got 2 corners. It's Kalen Carson.
Okay.
Backups of Andrew Booth and CJ Goodwin.
All right. Yeah, my breakout candidates were Shaheed.
Okay.
And fucking reason for that is I don't care if it's Trayvon Diggs or is it Kalen Carson or however you say his name. The man's got speed that I think there's very few corners that could keep up with. J.C. Horn couldn't. And J.C. Horn was pretty much shadowing him, not for a majority of the game, but when he was on him, he was getting yeeted up. So it doesn't matter who's on Sheed. I don't think they're ready for the deep shot. So Sheed's my breakout guy. Defensively, I'll give it to Coley McKinstry because the chance that Marshawn Lattimore doesn't play, I think he's like really the only person that warrants a breakout performance type nomination out of the group that we got. I mean, maybe someone like Brian Brzee, but I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, what was all this for? You see?
You're not ready, dude.
I'm not.
I
I'm
did
not
all the
ready.
research I needed to get done. Just got
Mhm.
finished, and you're gonna cry
Okay.
when I expose an agenda you want to push.
An agenda I want to push?
Mm-hmm.
What if I don't push that agenda?
You have already started to push it.
The Rashid Shaheed agenda?
You'll see when we get there.
Okay. Well, talking about breakout candidates, and we've had to mention injury report a few times, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into that.
Yep.
Injury report, shebang, right here. So, what we got up on the screen right now is injury report. We got a very lengthy injury report for the Saints, but it's not that bad when you consider everyone who has a game designation. Brian Brzee is questionable with an illness. I'm sure he'll play. I'm pretty sure that's just a requirement by the NFL to be questionable with an illness at this point. Whatever. Isaiah Foskey back. He's a fucking backup. I didn't expect him to play regardless. If he does play, fine. It's not like we're losing anything from that. DeMarco Jackson out for a second week in a row. That's big for the special teams, but considering how the special teams did last week, I'm not really too scared with that. I do think, get someone like Kevontae Turpin, he could be there and help out, but I think they'll be all right. Darren Rizzi's got that. Marshawn Lattimore didn't practice all week, questionable. That right there is the biggest problem because CeeDee Lamb, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that. CeeDee Lamb's probably the best receiver in the NFL, if not the second best. And even then, he has his case for number one. So if I'm confident that Debo isn't going to let him run rampant, but he's going to be a 100% a factor. So if Marshawn plays, that'll help out on the other side versus Brandon Cooks. Yeah. Colin Sanders is out again. I think as long as Brian Brzee plays, that one won't be that much of a problem. Therese Fuaga is questionable, and that right there is a game changer because I personally believe that Therese Fuaga is the difference between a win and a loss for any game. Because if Derek Carr's blindside is not protected against either Michael Parsons or DeMarcus Lawrence, whoever they choose, it's going to be a rough day. And then Jalen Ford, who didn't really play much last week. If he did at all, I think he might have been out. But against someone who really wouldn't get action unless it was on special teams. And even then, I don't know if he's going to play. So, yeah, nothing too game-changing here. But I think if Marshawn does miss, it's going to be a lot harder. Anyway, and then for the Cowboys, we're just going to go over the two doubtful ones, or the doubtful one out. We got Jake
Ferguson's not going to play.
Okay, so we'll just go ahead and say out.
And John
Ferguson's out, and John Stephens
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I think the Cowboys are down to just one tight end now. Is that right?
Two.
Who's the other one?
They still have Brevin Spain-Ford.
Okay, well, I like Brevin Spain-Ford.
And John Stephens is tight end 4.
Okay. So, anything there that you really want to talk about specifically?
If they all play, it won't matter.
Who?
All the Saints guys. It won't matter.
All of them?
All of them play, it won't matter.
Okay. All right. I like this side of you. I like this side of you.
Dude, no, you won't.
You keep threatening this big evidence and shit, and I ain't heard it yet. You know what? I'm starting to think it don't exist.
Okay.
I almost just dropped my phone.
Okay.
All right.
You almost dropped the phone before I dropped the mic.
Yeah, you ain't dropping no mic, buddy. Anyway. Moving on. I have a feeling that your research has something to do with keys to victory, so we're gonna go to keys to victory. How did the Cowboys beat the Saints here? What do they got to do?
They beat the Cowboys. They like the Cowboys play.
Motherfucker, entertain me. Explain what they got to do.
So all they got to do is they genuinely just have to beat them. This Saints team is frauds. This Panthers team is not as good as Valencia's trying to hype up.
But they're as good as everyone else is trying to hype up, right?
No, I genuinely believe after watching that first game that they're the second worst team in football.
So through all this time,
Bryce
Young's got this revamped old line. They got their defense is still good. They
Now,
got Ejiro Evero.
They
got these receivers now.
You want to talk about that old line?
Yeah.
How many sacks did the Saints have the other day?
4.
How many of them were actually blocked? where a guy shed a block and ran free.
Sacks are sacks. But if we want to talk about pressures,
No, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Alontae Taylor had 3 sacks.
mm-hmm.
Guess how many times an offensive lineman touched him during those 3 sacks?
None.
0.
He's too fast.
Guess how many? Huh?
He's too fast.
No, none of them ever even.
Actually, they did. Actually, on one of them, they touched him. On one.
It was Miles Sanders who touched him.
Was it Miles Sanders? All right, never mind.
It was Miles Sanders who touched him, who gave I'm going to make it look like I put an effort and just stuck his arms out. That's all he did. He didn't actually try to block him. He just went,
Sacks are sacks, but I'll let you finish.
And DeMario, they didn't even put DeMario's in the highlight reel I watched real quick.
That's because I don't think DeMario had the sack, but
They didn't even put the other sack in there. But
well, did you watch the Alontae Taylor highlight reel? Did you watch
the game highlight reel?
If I could find that, I think they credited to DeMario,
But here's what I'm also going to say. How you said this is a brand new pass rush, a revitalized pass rush?
The
Saints?
No, I didn't say that.
I thought you did. Okay.
But what are you gonna say though? And then I'll try and counter.
Well, my point was gonna be the last 3 games. So every time they played Bryce Young, the Saints have gotten 4 sacks exactly.
Yeah.
Each and every time. So it's what you expect at this point. Is 4 sacks against the Panthers from the Saints.
But here's the difference. This was with the worst offensive line in all of football last year. Versus this year, improved offensive line.
At least 3 of those went from the offensive lineman not even blocking him. And Bryce Young just not getting rid of the football out in time.
But
so how's that on the offensive line?
You also got to credit the defensive scheme.
Defensive scheme? Yeah, cool. Guess what? This ain't the fucking Panthers offense you're going against.
But if we're talking purely sacks, you got to look at all the pressures. I don't know where you could find that, but from what I've seen, Chase Young had 7 pressures last week.
Against the right tackle?
Yes, mostly the right tackle, a couple on the left.
But what I'm saying here is, and you got to keep in mind, there's the Panthers offensive line, then there's the Cowboys offensive line.
I understand that.
They're not similar.
I understand that. No, I get that. But when we're talking about how the Saints pass rush has no juice left, and the Panthers offensive line is some levels above that was last year, and there's no credit given at all. I don't understand.
The key difference. Bryce Young holds the ball too long. He's a second-year quarterback. He doesn't get rid of the football in time, and he just stands there. He doesn't recognize blitz as well. His center, I don't know who his center is, doesn't recognize blitz as well.
His what?
Whoever his center is, I don't
fucking remember.
Doesn't recognize center blitz as well. That comes from the center, but it's also on the quarterback. Here's the difference. You're playing Dak Prescott, who's been in the league for a long time. He's played very high-level football. He's going to recognize when you're blitzing, and he's going to get that ball out. And he has guys who just getting the ball in the hands. Jalen Tolbert, ball in his hands, he's scary. Brandon Cooks, you know how good Brandon Cooks can be with the ball in his hands. CeeDee Lamb, if you get the ball in his hands, he's not as fast as Tyreek Hill. But damn well, if he gets the ball in his hands, there's a chance that's going to go 60 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, I understand that.
They have 3 guys who, if you get the ball in the hands, it couldn't be a touchdown like that.
I understand that.
So you can't just freely blitz like you could the Panthers, because the Panthers have no one like that.
No, you're
Panthers
right.
have no one who you can get the ball to. If they have the ball, I'm not like, oh, they can score a touchdown. What? Adam Thielen going to juke out 3 guys and score a fucking touchdown? Deontay Johnson, who didn't score a touchdown for an entire season, going to do that?
That's what I said about Deontay Johnson last week when we were doing this, is that it's going to take him a while to get that tread back. And it already seems like he doesn't want to get that tread back.
What, is Xavier Leggett, the rookie, going to be the guy who jukes out 4 guys and scores a touchdown?
And you know what? That's fair. You can discredit them all you want.
Offense at every position is better than the Cowboys. Better than the Panthers. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
There's not one position you could look at me and say the Panthers are better at on offense.
if we're gonna talk about that, I would say tight end mainly because they also are
Who's
also
the
tight end.
Tavion Sanders versus Luke Schoonmaker?
Bro, what has Luke Schoonmaker done?
Luke Schoonmaker? Let's pull it up.
What has he done?
I don't need your stats anymore, Carolina.
Let me see.
Luke Schoonmaker last year had 8 receptions,
I would say
65
running
yards, and 2
back.
touchdowns.
I would say running back. I'm gonna be honest. Running
Miles
back.
Sanders ain't better than Zeke.
Okay. What?
Miles Sanders ain't better than Zeke.
I would say Hubbard. I would say Hubbard and Sanders are better than Zeke and Dowdle.
Zeke's better than them both.
Bro, but you don't understand how much of a liability that Rico Dowdle is.
Cool. Zeke's better than both.
No, he's not. What?
Yes, he is.
This isn't 2018.
No. Do you know what Zeke did last year?
What did Zeke do last year? Please explain.
In 5 starts, 184 rushes, he averaged a total of 3.5 yards an attempt, which
Yes,
not
that's
the
less than
greatest,
Alvin Kamara.
was better than what we expected. He had a total of 51 receptions, and
Okay.
he scored a total of 5 touchdowns on a horrible offense.
A horrible offense.
Last week, he was up to 4 yards a carry
Mm-hmm.
against a pretty damn good defense.
Okay.
Scored a touchdown, but and only got 10 Ks. And you focused on the run game at that point.
Let me look at what Hubbard and them did last year because I could not tell you.
They were.
Find this.
Miles Sanders last year. I already have.
Miles Sanders last year wasn't good, but Hubbard was better than Zeke was.
Miles Sanders last year, 3.3 yards a carry, way less yards,
Yeah.
less touchdown.
Okay, let's put it this way: Chuba Hubbard's their number one, right?
Chuba Hubbard.
I would say Chuba Hubbard's better than Zeke.
So 0.3 yards more per carry. He had more rushes, which is more impressive. His receiving game stats were way worse.
What do you mean way worse?
Zeke had 51 catches for 300 yards.
That's only 12 catches and 7
12
yards
catches
difference.
12 catches and let's see the exact number. Yeah, so he had 12, exactly 12 more catches and about 80 more yards in those 12 catches. And scored touchdowns off of receiving.
Okay, that's fair.
And Zeke was never the full-time starter. Zeke was in a split back system.
But let's be honest though. Who was in the worst offense? Because that's a really that's the tough question right there. Who was in the worst offense?
The Patriots had a worse offense.
I don't understand how you see that.
Who was the quarterback last year of the Patriots?
Mac Jones, I think. Yeah. Part
of the year before he got benched and was in the top 10 of interceptions still.
Was it Zappy after that?
Zappy took over. Where's Bailey Zappy? What team's Bailey Zappy on now?
I have no fucking clue.
Exactly. I have a question. Who's receiver 1 last year for the Patriots?
Devontae Parker, maybe.
Who led the Patriots in receiving? Actually, we'll even do that. Who led the team in receiving?
Did I look at fucking rankings at all?
I have them right here pulled up. Who led the Patriots in receiving?
Here we go.
And I'll tell you, they did not have a receiver break 600 yards.
Damn.
DeMario Douglas was their leading receiver. DeMario Douglas started 7 games.
Let's see, what's the yards per game for these guys? Panthers were bottom in the league in yards per game, and they were both tied for points per game.
Yeah, how many interceptions did they throw?
Who, the Panthers?
Yes.
I don't know where to look for that. Turnovers? Here we go. Their turnover differential was 9 to the Patriots 11, or -9 to the Patriots -11.
The Patriots threw 21 interceptions last year.
And the Panthers threw 10. That's just not true. Wait, no. Yeah, that's true.
The Patriots fumbled 19 times.
You know, all right, you might be right on. You're right on.
They turned the ball over 40 times.
You're right on who was the worst offense, but I still think that Chuba Hubbard is better than Zeke.
This team's high. The most points they scored in a week was 29.
Who, the Panthers or the Patriots?
The Patriots.
Okay.
See what the Let's compare it to the Panthers.
Wait, who had the highest?
The Panthers in 1 week scored 30. They broke 30.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games the Patriots had scoring 7 points or less. The Panthers had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the worst offense, Valente?
The
The team
Patriots.
that scored 7 or more points, 7 or less points 3 times? Or fucking almost half the year they didn't even break 7 points.
Yeah, the Patriots were worse offense, but I still think that Chuba Hubbard is better than Zeke, and that's just because he's younger.
You are rightful to a wrong opinion.
No, I just don't think that's wrong, bro. Zeke is not the type. Zeke, neither of them should be able to fucking lead their run game.
No.
So
well, last year,
if we're being honest, okay, even if Zeke is better, Zeke should not be the leader of that run game.
I'll also add, Chuba Hubbard week 1 was atrocious.
Yeah, I know that's a good Saints defense, but
that's not even the part I was going to kill you on yet.
Okay, you didn't kill me on that.
Oh, the wheels are turning, buddy.
Huh?
Wheels are turning. They're slowly going.
No, but
slowly but surely.
Let's be truthful, okay? If the Dallas Cowboys run game is better than the Panthers, it is not much better. It's not much better.
So I'll ask you that again. When Zeke has 78 rushing yards and a touchdown, and averages 4.3 yards a carry.
Okay. We're gonna shake on that right there. That ain't happening. I don't even think Zeke will get 70 yards on 25 carries.
Okay.
That would also require him to get 25 carries. But again, Rico Dowdle is a fucking liability in the run game.
Yeah, that's why they picked up Dalvin Cook, who's not much better, but he better.
And you still think that's gonna like move the needle at all?
No.
That's the point I'm trying to make here. Is the Dallas Cowboys run game is absolute shit.
Cool. They'll throw for 400 yards on you.
Okay, but now you're pretty much expecting them to throw most of the game.
Dude, it's the Cowboys. The Cowboys do what the Cowboys want.
I know, but
the Saints don't.
It's all right. In a way, it's not vanilla because that's the wrong word for it. But it doesn't matter if the Panthers are worse than the Cowboys in the run game. That's a very low bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Cowboys' run game is not anything special, and it's not even serviceable. I don't think. Like, so you're limiting the threat to one side of the game, and that's the passing game. Which, all credit to them, they have a perfect passing game down here. Dak's a very good quarterback. CeeDee Lamb is one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best receiver in the league. Brandon Cooks is still serviceable. But the Saints secondary is good too. Like, it's not like the Saints secondary can't match up with these guys. It's just a matter of if they play. And if they play, then yeah, we got a fucking good matchup this weekend. But if not, then no. It's all on the backs of Marshawn Lattimore until he's Fuaga playing. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But anyway,
what's the Saints keys? Is that your keys to victory?
Oh, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the keys to victory is finding a way to limit Micah Parsons. Because hear me out, all right? It was not Trevor Penning that shut down Derrick Brown. It wasn't. He had help. He had double teams. He had tight end help. He had.
Hey, what position does Derrick Brown play?
Edge.
Nope. Try again.
Right end.
Try again. He's a 3-tech.
Let's see. They're
in a 3-4, Valente. Derrick Brown is not an edge rusher. Derrick Brown's 290 pounds.
I understand that.
So why the fuck would he be lined up on Trevor Penning?
He was lined up for Trevor Penning.
And also, is Derrick Brown a pass rusher?
I think so.
Okay,
don't know.
then why does he have 6 career sacks?
Maybe he's not. But
He's not a
also,
pass rusher.
this is the Trevor Penning who is stinking up against every edge rusher ever.
Derek
But
Brown's career high in sacks in a year is 3.
okay,
He's
all
not a
right,
pass rusher. He's the
my
best
bad then.
run defender in football.
Okay, then Trevor Penning shut him down in the run game as well.
How was the Saints run game?
I think it was like 180 yards total on, I want to say like 5 yards per carry.
4.9.
4.9, yeah, pretty much the
Okay,
same.
and how many of those times were they running at him? Or against
I
the
know
best
he was
that
eliminated
atrocious
from.
front seven?
I know he was eliminated from the play almost every time.
Yeah, because there's no one else on that defensive line you have to worry about.
Jadeveon Clowney, Ashawn Robinson.
What's Ashawn Robinson done in his career?
No, he's very good in run defense. That's
He's
what I know.
okay.
I'm sorry. Is the Saints offensive line not terrible?
Ashawn Robinson is okay. Once again, not a good pass rush at all. He's only been a full-time starter in his career. I'll give him 1, 2, 3 times in his career.
3 years.
3 years.
How old is he?
In his 9-year career, he's been a starter 3 times in his career for a full year.
And those are what, the last 3 years probably?
Alex, I'll give him 4. I'll give him the Giants here, but that's also the Giants. So 4 of his 9 years.
Okay.
4 of his 9 years. And those teams have been the Rams are the only good team he has ever started for.
But again, he's a very good run defender.
And his TFL numbers have been atrocious.
His what?
Tackles for loss.
Okay. Well,
He's had 1 good year as a defensive lineman. That was last year, to be fair, on the Giants. But someone has to get stats on that D line.
he's a good defensive lineman. I think he is. From the way he played last year, you have every reason to believe that he was good this year. He's going to be good going into this year. But
Okay,
and then Jadeveon Clowney, who is the pass rusher.
Is he a good one, right?
10 sacks, bro.
Never gotten 10 sacks in his career.
He just did last year.
Nope, he had
9.5.
He had 9.5. Career high.
I'm
now,
sorry.
Do you want to know who those sacks were against?
Sure. Let's hear who the sacks were against.
Half a sack against Indianapolis. Good O-line. How's the Pittsburgh O-line?
Good, I think.
No.
Troy Fautanu. That's who he was against.
Cool. That's this year. What about last year?
That was this year. Never mind.
What about last year? Who was the tackles last year? Do you even know?
No, I'm not even gonna lie.
Exactly. Because they were horrid. Why do you think
I don't know who it was.
Why do you think they drafted another one?
Was it Broderick Jones?
Broderick Jones, I think Broderick Jones was a backup for some reason.
They're just slow.
They played bad tackles. San Francisco, outside of Trent Williams, what do they have on the O-line that's good?
Colt McKivitz.
What position
whatever
does
his
he
name
play?
is. Right tackle.
Cool. He's okay at best. The Chargers.
Okay, that motherfucker didn't give
How is
shit
that?
up.
Outside of fuck, why can't I think of his name? Outside of Slater, who was injured last year? Who do they got?
I don't know.
Nobody. Cincinnati.
Was Sean Slater injured last year?
Yeah. He missed almost all the year. The entire year.
Did he miss last year?
Yeah. Sean Slater played 1 game all year. And that was week 1.
Yeah. Okay.
How about Cincinnati's O-line?
I'd say it's better than what it was, but I don't know how good they are.
Is it good?
Orlando Brown they had last year, right?
Yeah, who was not that good last year for them.
And then who was the other one there?
They cut Lyle Collins because of how bad he was playing.
Was it Trent Brown, the other one?
They picked him up this offseason.
I don't know the other one was then.
It was whoever replaced Lyle Collins. That's 2 of his sacks there.
I don't know.
How good was the Cleveland Browns line at tackle?
I think pretty good.
And
Jack Conklin and Jedrick Wills.
What game? Who started this game for the Browns? Even
that
was the Deshaun Watson game. Even
the good Deshaun Watson game.
The Deshaun Watson game where he was mid.
Like so, pretty much every Deshaun Watson game.
No, this was like the most closest to mid he got.
Okay, let me see.
Now, so far, those are 7.5 of his sacks, and we've said that.
Wait, hold on. They didn't even play the Panthers last year.
Who?
Jadeveon.
He wasn't on the Panthers.
Where was he?
He was in Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay.
Do you know who the other team he had 2 sacks against was?
Who?
I want you to look me in the eyes when I say this. Look me in the eyes and tell me the Tennessee Titans have a good offensive line at tackle.
Mm-hmm. No,
you can't. He had 2 sacks against Tennessee, who arguably had the worst offensive line last year. Cleveland, whose tackle play has only been mid. Cincinnati, he had 2 sacks against across the year, who've had a very mid O-line. That's 6 of his 9.5 sacks against teams who are not that good.
So, counterpoint. Would this technically mean that the Saints have a better offensive line?
Is that saying a lot compared to these teams?
Maybe not.
And also, who is helping him in pass rush?
I forgot the other one. Is it Matabuke?
Nope. I mean,
Who's
on the Panthers right now. On the Panthers
right
now.
The Panthers? Oh.
Who's helping him in pass rush?
Not really anybody.
Exactly. On the Panthers, he had Matabuke. He had Kyle Van Noy. He had Moffett.
On the Ravens, he had
on the Ravens.
Matabuke. Yeah.
On the Ravens, he had a lot of help. Where they couldn't just.
Oh, my bad. The other one is Shaq Thompson.
Wait.
That's the other motherfucker. That's the
Shaq Thompson's not a pass rusher.
I think he is. No. Wait, no, never mind. I'm slow. My fault. No.
On the Ravens, he had Matabuke, 13 sacks. Kyle Van Noy.
They blitzed him. My bad. I wasn't even thinking about that right away.
Kyle Van Noy, 9 sacks. Odafe Owe, who in his 13 games picked up 5 sacks. He has help. He had help on the Ravens.
Yeah.
He gets a 9.5 sacks. Every time he's hit that total, he's had another great pass rusher. When he hit it, the other year he hit it. 2021, he had, some guy named Myles Garrett. In 2017, he had JJ fucking Watt. Oh, hey, in 2018, guess who he also had? JJ motherfucking Watt. Every other year. 2016, JJ Watt got injured, 6 sacks. 2015, JJ Watt got injured, 4.5 sacks. Seattle, no good pass rush in 2019, 3 sacks. Cleveland, 2022, with Myles Garrett, only got 2 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney's sack total is a big benefit of having another great pass rusher. So you're out here talking about how good Talise Fuanga played against a great pass rush team with their best defensive lineman not being a pass rusher, only a run stopper. Jadeveon Clowney not being good unless he has another guy who they shift all their focus to.
Hold on, let me stop you there.
Anton Robinson, who is not a pass rusher at all.
It's not just how Fuaga did in pass rush. It's just how he did on all factors of the game. In the run game, he was near perfect against Derek Brown.
Derek Brown's an interior defensive lineman.
But he was on Derek Brown.
He's an interior he plays 3 tech. He goes against the guards. Maybe if he's down blocking, to an outside run opposite side, maybe he's touching Derek Brown on a play Derek Brown would never get to.
Okay, and then also the scheme is perfectly ran. Like that scheme that the Saints run like was near perfect in all blocking ways.
Yeah, because you're playing a bad defensive line.
How could you call that a bad defensive line?
You
They're
have
just
one
bad
guy
at.
who's good. You have one guy who's authentically good at football.
Okay, that's one of the best in football.
Yeah, guess what? It's very easy to take away an interior defensive lineman who can't pass rush.
Clowney, Robinson, and Derek Brown all together.
Okay, cool. Who's helping Derek Brown?
They eliminated them in every
You are
part of the
really
game.
standing on the fact that Asan Robinson, who's never been above average defender, who's ever been an average defender in his football career.
I'm just taking their three best.
Yeah, Asan Robinson's ass. Davian Clowney's never been anything unless he has someone to carry his coattails.
I'm taking their three best.
And
every single part of that game was perfect.
If you put their three best on the Denver Broncos, one of them starts.
Okay. Like
if you put the three of them on the Cowboys, one of them starts. If you put those three on the Giants, okay, the Giants is a horrible example. He said the only other team in football that would start all three of them. But your entire point stands on the fact that they're playing who they can get, overpaid Clowney,
okay,
for your offensive line agenda because you took away an interior defensive lineman who was never a good pass rusher.
I'm not sitting here trying to say
a
the Saints
guy who's never been good,
best.
and a guy who, as soon as he can get a shred of attention in pass rush, goes from a solid number 2 guy who's never had 10 sacks in his career to
hold on.
the equivalent.
This just isn't
about left in the refrigerator for the last 2 months.
This just isn't about Fuaga and Penning. This is about the entire offensive line.
Yeah,
I'm just mentioning Fuaga.
Yeah, and I'm attacking those damn weak ass tackles.
Weak ass tackles.
Yeah.
Bro, Fuaga's not a weak tackle, and you're gonna learn that. Okay.
Please let him play. Please let him play so Micah Parsons can look like prime JJ Watt and basically look like he's do what Myles Garrett was doing, walking up doing a crossover, just did a crossover. Myles Garrett and Marcus Lawrence are going to eat their lunch so much that they're going to look like Marcel Yonder when they're done.
Michael Parsons is going to be on Trevor Penning. I'm not even going to sit here and say that matchup.
He's going to play against both. He's going to go against both.
Michael Parsons will eat Trevor Penning alive, and I believe that.
And D-Law's going to eat Fuanga alive.
I just don't believe that.
Are you forgetting who DeMarcus Lawrence is?
I know who DeMarcus Lawrence is.
Okay, who's DeMarcus Lawrence?
Fucking rusher.
Yeah, but is he good?
Yes, he's good.
Okay, so why are you acting like he's just an average guy?
I'm not saying he's an average guy. I'm just saying Fuaga is that guy.
He is going to eat Fuaga for lunch.
I just don't agree. Fuaga's going to have his struggle if he even plays. This is also if he even plays.
But if he plays, he better.
Fuaga's going to have his struggle.
If he is smart for the rest of his career, he's going to sit on that bench like a happy dog and eat dog treats all game because he knows he will get pounded.
If he plays, I'm just going to say this. If he plays, he's going to have his struggles. But fucking DeMarcus Lawrence isn't going to eat him for lunch, bro. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Yes, he is. The first time he's getting a real edge rusher against him.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. He's going to have his struggles.
Even in practice, he hasn't had a real edge rusher against him.
Yeah, now you're just talking out your ass. You know, I'm gonna let that go because you're just talking out your ass at this point. But okay, what the fuck was I? What were we even going on about? See, this is why we can't do this shit together, bro. Keys to victory, is that what I was on?
We're still on keys to victory. We've done 3 things of the 7.
Okay. Out of what?
Because we still have
okay.
Dream scenario, nightmare scenario.
All right. Well, keys to victory. And let me fucking talk this time, buddy, because you interrupted me the moment I fucking said anything about Michael Parsons.
Yeah, because I knew that was the point I was going to attack.
again, Micah Parsons is not is a game changer. He's a fucking game changer. You cannot fully shut him down. But I think there's a way you could scheme to give Carr more time versus putting him on an island against Trevor Penning and it being completely blown up. I think the scheme will work. Not, I don't think they're gonna win personally, but I think the scheme could work to where you can make the offense look effective, but not perfect. If you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what you need to do is find a way to give Penning his help, give Waga help if you need to, or whoever plays on that left side. Um, you know, continue to use motion, continue to throw the defense off. Um, utilize Taysom as much as possible. And on defense, if Lattimore doesn't play, find a way to shadow CeeDee Lamb. Find double teams on CeeDee Lamb. I think Adebo can handle him, but it will not be perfect, or I don't even think it'll be great even. I think he can do good, but that's about it. And just everyone's confidence is probably at an all-time high. I'd say just ride that shit as far as you can take it. Uh, defensively, I think the run game is a non-factor for Dallas really. Um, so I feel like the defensive line is going to remain confident in their own way. I think you can find a good way to attack Tyler Guyton, who did pretty good last week, but also had his struggles. So, um, if possible, try and make Dak uncomfortable. But yeah, those are my keys to victory. I try not to make that last forever because we've already been on that for like 25 minutes. All right, let's talk about. All right, what's your dream scenario? How if everything goes perfect for the Cowboys? What does that look like for you?
Micah Parsons 4 sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence 2 sacks. Saints score 1 touchdown all game. The Cowboys score 45. Saints fans realize, hey, we're not all that we thought because the Panthers are just fucking shit. Everyone's walking out of the game like, oh yeah, Dallas are Super Bowl contenders, which they are. This isn't even me being biased.
We all know they're gonna lose in the wild card like they always do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, it's the Cowboys. They're gonna lose some team. They're gonna lose to the Vikings, and people are gonna remember. Yeah, the Saints are still the Saints.
I don't know. See, this is the way I think about it. This game could go horribly, and I feel like fans are gonna like write the season off right then and there. But I think if these two players don't play, it's gonna be bad. Like people are gonna write it off. Like if Fuaga and Lattimore don't play and that game ends up being bad, they're either gonna have the fans that are like me and they're just gonna say, those two are game changing players, and if they were there, the score would probably be a little bit different. Or you're gonna have the fans that are gonna write it off as, oh, Carr sucks, blow it up, whatever. But if they play and the game still goes bad, then maybe I'd probably shut down the hopes. But I know that is 100% a possibility. But I don't see it going terribly. I just don't see us getting absolutely like shit on like
This is
the
going to be
Browns
in
did.
the moments before disaster.
And it might be. But there's still a lot of season left too.
It won't even be. It'll be the second biggest natural disaster to hit New Orleans.
Why does everyone make Katrina jokes? So everyone can make Katrina jokes, but no one can make a joke about 9/11 or anything. It's all good. It's all right. I ain't even from Louisiana, by the way. I'm from Kentucky. I'm sitting in Kentucky right now. But everyone can make fun of Katrina, but if if anything happens in fucking Tampa or Atlanta, or if a third plane hits the tower, you can't talk about it. It's all good though, because everyone hates New Orleans. It's all right. I'm used to that. I've been used to that since the NFC Championship on January 20th, 2019. It's all good. All right. Anyway, uh, I said the dream scenario for the Saints here is no one gets seriously injured. One, and again, you don't go out there and get shit on, and you find a way to win the game. That's your dream scenario. I think you find a way to win the game, whether it be by 300. I'm just joking. But find a way to go out there and establish that offense, and just keep improving on uh, something that fans are actually excited for, which I didn't ever think I'd see fans be excited for a Derek Carr offense. Which another stat that I like to bring up here is ever since Week 15 last year, Derek Carr has been the best QB in the NFL.
Whoever they played in that span?
I don't remember. Let's see, let me pull it back up. I believe since Week 15 it was New York Giants, Los Angeles Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons, and then Carolina Panthers Week 1.
Okay, I can respect that a bit.
Yeah, and Carr has like 17 touchdowns to 1 interception or something like that. So he's been doing pretty good over the last 5 regular season weeks. So hopefully he can build on that, and hopefully he can find some real consistency. That's my dream scenario: is Carr finds consistency, and the Saints hopefully show that they might be able to make playoffs. We'll see. All right. Anyway, what's the nightmare scenario? Everything goes bad, because I know there's a nightmare. I know there's a nightmare scenario out there.
Cowboys only win by 7.
Be real.
I am.
Okay.
Cowboys are winning this game.
Okay.
There's authentically the only world where they don't is if CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, and Trayvon Diggs all tear their ACL in the first quarter.
See, I just think you're underestimating the Saints at this point. Okay? So look, in the same way that some fans overestimate the Saints because of how they did against the Panthers, you're underestimating them. Am I wrong?
Valente, who am I a fan of today?
I know you're a fan of today, but I know what you're doing.
So Valente, who am I a fan of today?
I understand.
What is my job?
I understand. But usually you'd be real with it. Last week you were a fan of the Panthers with all the hope in the world.
And was my nightmare scenario not exactly what happened?
Yeah, actually it was. That's funny. It's funny you say that. But I think you're underestimating how good the Saints can be.
Okay, look. I'll give you the 100% of, so that's my nightmare scenario. The realistic nightmare scenario is Huanga beats the allegations I'm putting on him of being a bum pass rush, bum defensive line allegations, and actually shows up and plays at a decent level. Because he will not be great tomorrow. I will guarantee you that. I mean, tomorrow when this goes up, Sunday for us, he will not be one of the best pass rushers, best edge rushers in football next week again. He will allow a sack next week. It's just a matter of when.
Okay, here's something I found. Who's to say that Fuaga doesn't have that Joe Alt type of week?
He won't.
Why is that?
He won't. Fuaga did not have the upside of Joe Alt. Joe Alt is the best offensive line prospect at tackle we have seen in a while.
That's fair.
Joe Alt was ready from day one to play in the NFL. Now, remember scenario, this run game completely implodes and shows, hey, Zeke's not the guy. Figure this shit out. You need a running back one to succeed long term, especially in a division where you have to play the Eagles and a tough ass NFC where if you get to the playoffs, you really need a run game. Otherwise, you are going to get completely obliterated by all these other offensive coaches like Sean McVay, like Kyle Shanahan, like Kevin O'Connell, who would figure out their run
Oh,
game
you're
in a
standing
shitty.
on that, aren't you? You really
Yes.
think the Vikings are beating them in the playoffs? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It is authentically going to be the Vikings in the wild card who beat the Cowboys.
7 seed
Which
Vikings?
it's either going to, no, it would be a 6 seed Vikings or a 4 seed Vikings, 5 seed Cowboys.
Okay.
Um,
All right, I got it.
but those are all three offensive coaches way better than Mike McCarthy. They figure out their run game in a shitty situation. The Vikings' run game last year was not atrocious. They figured it out. They had any excuse to be atrocious. Sean McVay found his running back in hiding in Kyron Williams. And Kyle Shanahan has a guy named Jordan Mason now who just ran for $140 in his first NFL game against the Jets. And your defense will need to continue to play well. Worst thing that can happen there is you guys get exposed for not having a good corner two right now because Deron Bland's on IR, and Sheed goes ahead and has 7 catches for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns, along with A.T. Perry's receiver 3.
Yes.
A.T. Perry having 7 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. And Derek Carr continues to look like his pound self. While Chris Olave still has a great game, this is going to be a game where if Saints win, it's because of the passing game. The run game will not play a major role in this. They will not be able to repeat what they did last week against the Panthers. This Cowboys defense, to their credit, is too good for that to allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns struggled, and they have a great run blocking offensive line. So this is going to be an offense that is going to rely on the pass game. The key will be to take Kamara, which they can do. But your nightmare situation is you let those other 2 receivers, because I'm not worried about Olave unless something happens with Diggs. Olave may get his play at 2 because at the same time it's still Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
But as if you let Rashid Shaheed and A.T. Perry completely take over the game and Derek Carr looks like he's in 2016 again.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not really about who's on Trayvon Diggs. It's about who's on the other 2.
Because Trayvon Diggs is going to do him.
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless of where Rashid Shaheed is, he's gonna eat just because of how fast he is. But whoever's on Trayvon Diggs is gonna have his way and his thing. Trayvon Diggs can lock down his side of the field. I'm more worried about like the other corner. Kalen Carson. Yeah, that's his name. All right. Let's see. We got I think one more. Score predictions. Right.
Yes.
All right. Now again, I keep forgetting to pull this up.
I've only missed one.
No, it's not that. I keep forgetting to pull up the the ESPN bet thingy.
Also, let me make this clear here. Some of that was me just being an obnoxious Cowboys fan because I was playing a Cowboys fan today.
Yeah, I get it.
Some of that was.
I understand. I get
Authentically, I think the Cowboys are going to destroy the Saints.
Damn, okay.
Authentically, my entire point about the pass rush from the Panthers was not me being legitimate.
Oh, why is this fucking...
About the Saints line possibly being exposed, legitimate. About the Saints D line getting exposed, it's going to get exposed. Especially if Lattimore doesn't play. Dak's throwing for 400 on Sunday.
Well, if they're getting fucking blown out, he's not going to throw for that much.
He will. That'll be to get them 30 to 35. Will be 400 passing yards.
All right. Here we are. We got switch the screen. All right. Up on the screen right now. Now first let's talk about you. Caleb, you are 7-1 in your picks. I think last week you
I
got both
Saints all the
money
way.
line and spread.
Yeah.
And then we both missed on the under because the Saints covered that by themselves. But
No, I took the over.
you took the over.
I took the over.
Oh, I thought
I
I took
had
the
it at
did I take the over?
27-17.
It don't matter. It's really all about the game pick. We just like betting. So uh on the screen we got the money line spread and total points. And for our non-betting audience here, I'll explain what that means. Money line is basically just picking who wins the game. Spread is picking the score of the game in the sense. So like for example, the spread is or Cowboys -6, I mean, which means the Cowboys are favored by 6. So if you were to take the Cowboys -6, you're saying that the Cowboys are going to win by 6 or more. So if the Cowboys were to win by 5 or less, you would want to pick the Saints. So Saints spread +6 means they're underdogs by 6. Means they either need to win or to lose by less than 6. And then over under is the total points scored throughout the entire game. So for example, uh, if your game prediction is Cowboys 30-27, you're going to want to pick the over because that is 57 total points. So uh, Cowboys are favored money line -270, Saints +220. I got the spread is here, Saints +6 and Cowboys -6. And then the total points is set at 46.5. So I'm pretty sure Caleb doesn't need to dramatize this, but I'm gonna go ahead and make my picks. I have Cowboys money line, I have Saints spread, and I have over 46.5. And
Yeah.
I said last week, I said, hey, no matter what happens, I'm gonna come on here and I'm not picking the Saints. And that held true, except not for the spread. I'm not picking the Saints here. I think the Cowboys are gonna win. But I think the Saints and the offensive scheme that Kubiak brings has a chance to keep it within a touchdown. And again, moving along with the offense, I think that these are two offenses that are going to be good at scoring points. My score prediction is 30-27 Cowboys, which is why I said that earlier, which means I'm taking the over. Caleb, we're passing it on to you. What do you got here?
All right. Do you want me to make drama out of this or no?
Sure, go ahead. You know what? You know how to do this.
Okay. Okay. Put me on the spot. So, I'm going to try to make this not as obvious. However, I think if you've watched this episode at all, it is very clear who I am taking. It's very clear what direction I'm going with this. But you know what? I'll try to add some drama to this. I'll try to make you think I'm not going Cowboys all the way. Because I am. But don't add some electricity to this. I'm a showman. I am an entertainer. And I will entertain the people by making them pump fake it, even though I just said what I'm going to do.
Okay.
As good as the Cowboys are, all the Saints have to do is take away the pass game and get the ball out quick. They can get the ball out quick. They have a fighting chance. But then you also have to be able to pick up a decent amount of yards while you get the ball out quick.
Which I do think the scheme has allowed Derek Carr to do that. But moving on.
Sheed and Olave are two best chances. ATP is not going to be much of a quick game guy. In your tight end room, you're going to probably be looking towards Taysom Hill for that quick game option, not Juwan Johnson.
Could go either.
Kamara, first, as far as a quick game goes, that Kamara is the best running back you can have in this situation, not named McCaffrey.
So right now the best because McCaffrey ain't playing.
I'd still take Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is him, dude.
You just said he's the best other than McCaffrey.
I ignored Aaron Jones' existence for a minute. And that which would put the Cowboys in an interesting situation of things are being deliberately quick, but we can't commit to the quick game because all it takes is receipts to heat to run straight and randomly cut to the middle of the field to be run deep. As soon as you roll those safeties up, they're taking the shot list with sheets of heat, and you better hope Derek Carr overthrows it or underthrows it, which he is prone to do.
Yeah.
Saints defensively just need to take away CeeDee Lamb and realistically say beat us with Schoonmaker, beat us with Brandon Cooks, beat us with Tolbert, and beat us with Zeke. If I was them, I wouldn't do it because Brandon Cooks will beat you. Especially against the Saints, a revenge game in a way.
No, he's played the Saints like 4 different times.
And it's still going to be every time.
He got his fucking revenge in 2019 with the Rams. All right, chill out.
It's going to happen again. This is an offense for the Dallas, however, that's going to be explosive again. Especially if Zeke gets his legs back under him. Which I'm starting to think by the mid-year, we could be looking at not quite prime Zeke, but as close as we'll ever get again to prime Zeke. We already saw him hurdle a guy. And Denzel Ward in his first play as a Cowboy again. Which just was ironic, but we won't go there. However, the way the Saints lose is so obvious. And there's so many different ways for the Saints to fuck this up horribly. Derek Carr not playing with complete confidence. Both the tackles completely failing because one of them will. Penning will. If
it's going to be any of them, it'll be Penning.
And if Fuanga can't handle the pressure of DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, then he's going to be destroyed. Chris Olave being taken out of the game, that ruins your offense of the offense there of the combo. If any combo of those happen, along with the deep shot getting taken away by the Cowboys because they can scheme for that. Eric Kendricks guarding Kamara, which could limit Kamara. There's multitudes of ways the Saints offense looks dull again. And defensively, the Saints are going to have many holes, especially if Lattimore doesn't play. Because who's going to cover CeeDee Lamb in that situation? Adebo can't cover him. There's maybe 4 corners in the NFL who can hold his jockstrap. And Lattimore ain't even one of them. But he can help limit the damage. Adebo's going to look like a fucking fish out of water if he tries to cover CeeDee Lamb. So then they use whoever the fuck your corner 3 is to guard Brandon Cooks. And he about to make a name for himself. And the defensive line that is going to be ran all over on against Zach Martin and Tyler Smith, who are, I think, one of the best guard duos in football. Against Tyler Guyton, who's a great run blocker. This is going to be a run offense that is going to look good against the Saints. So I'm taking the Cowboys. I am taking them to cover, and they're going to hit the over. And if you're surprised by that, you didn't watch the fucking episode.
It's not apparent, ladies and gentlemen. This motherfucker hates me. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. What's your score prediction?
Score prediction?
Yeah.
Which one do you want, the legit or the Cowboy fan one?
Both. Give me both. Give me the
Cowboy fan one, 56-0.
Okay, what's the legitimate one?
Legitimate one would be 38 to 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that's part of the Cowboy fan in you, but okay. Caleb, I don't even know if I want to thank you for joining me here. But Caleb, thank you for joining me on this episode of Behind Enemy Lines. Week 2, we still got a long season left, and I don't know who we play next week. Eagles. Yeah, Eagles. I might have you back. I don't know.
I know an Eagles fan.
You do?
Jedi.
Okay, I could help Jedi. But if you're not back next week, I'll talk about that. But
you better hope I'm not. Especially
we'll see how
I wanted it to go.
We'll see how it goes. Caleb, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. As always, his links will be below me in the description. Follow him on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, uh, and other things. That might just be it. But yeah, thank you for watching this episode of Behind Enemy Lines. I'll be live Sunday for the reactions to the game. That could go one way or another. I'm sure Caleb will pop in and fuck with me.
Maybe I might be doing something else. Oh no, I need to talk with who I'm talking to about that.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank y'all for watching. Drop a like, subscribe on the button down there. And see you guys tomorrow for the live reactions. Peace.